My name is Arvind Kala and I live in Delhi. I admire PM Modi. I admire him so much that if he was ever to need a kidney, I'd happily donate him one. Happily, because I know that my kidney in Mr. Modi's body would do more for India than my kidney in my own body, which is why I'm giving him some unsolicited advice right now. Mr. Modi makes a huge mistake, 3-4 huge mistakes in his body language. His biggest mistake is that his conduct and his body language and his behavior overseas is very different from his behavior in India. And that makes people wonder why. When he goes overseas to greet Boris Johnson or Trump or Macron or anybody, he steps off the plane, his hands are spread out in a, expansive, he's grinning effusively, his face looks radiant, and he goes and he hugs them hard. Everybody hugs hard. Now, there are millions of people in India, but in India, he doesn't hug anybody. He doesn't smile. He doesn't laugh. He doesn't do anything. So these millions of Indians bent over their cell phones, they see these images and they wonder, what the hell does Mr. Modi think? Mr. Modi says he loves India and Indians, etc. This is a land of Hindus. Why doesn't he hug people here? Why doesn't he smile? Aren't Indians good enough for him? So Mr. Modi harms himself very, very badly because he never smiles here. That's a huge mistake. Now, let me say at this moment of time that Mr. Modi is an old man. He's 71. Only 3% of India is over 70 and 80% of India is below 45, 50. So, all these people bent over their phones, they see hell of a lot. The next generation and the one after that, they're much smarter than us. Mr. Modi doesn't realize that, and he's surrounded by sycophants who dare not tell him that, Mr. Modi, don't look double-faced, don't behave in one fashion outside India and in another fashion here in India. So this harms him grievously, and that's why I'm giving this advice, because I admire him. The second very big mistake he makes is in his waving gesture. You see, he waves like Hitler. Now, let me put it this way. I hope the camera is able to see me. When we step into a car or when we're waving goodbye to anybody, whether it's Maggie Thatcher or Trump or anybody, people, they put both hands together and they wave like this. Like this. But Mr. Modi, and that's the universal gesture all over, palm outwards, and you wave several times. But Mr. Modi, his wave is like this when he addresses election meetings, etc. And it's a horizontal thing of the hand. I hope you can see this. This is exactly how Hitler used to greet his people. So why does Mr. Modi, a leader of a democracy, emulate the wave of the worst person in history? Adolf Hitler killed 6 million Jews, the worst human being in history, easily. So why should Mr. Modi copy that? So now, you think any sycophant of his will tell him that? I'm telling him because, he can't sack me. Now, this is a second thing. He can easily correct because he can start going out and doing this like that. It's not so difficult to do. And the third thing he does is his body language. When he sits in Parliament, he sits with his hands folded like this. Now, that's a universal body language gesture which shows that you're shutting people out. Meaning you're sitting in Parliament and listening to 500 people, but nothing they say register because you shut them out by folding your hands and you're looking very formidable. So Mr. Modi, though he's an RSS man, he ends up looking very, very arrogant. And he has never been like that. All his decades in the RSS, he was moving around with chanas, etc., doing susu in bushes, etc., bathing at roadside taps. So he's not arrogant. But now when he doesn't realize that if he doesn't smile, and Amit Shah is also like that, but Nitin Gadkari smiles and laughs, so should Mr. Modi. He should do this. He should not look grim. Because all of India, as I said, half of India is below 27, 28. These are young kids. And they wonder why this guy behaves this way. So Mr. Modi does this very great harm. And at this point, let me tell you, I'm not one of those guys. They may catch me for sedition. Hey, what sort of a guy are you? You're running down you're saying that the PM doesn't know how to behave. Now, let me tell you, I'm a Hindu. I'm a high caste Hindu. I'm a Brahmin from Uttarakhand, which is the cradle of Hinduism. It's the land of Rishikesh and Hardwar and Char Dham and Badrinath, and the Ganges was born there, etc., etc. Jesus Christ, I have to say all this to prevent a possible arrest of mine. This is what is done. But anyway, I'll make that commitment to Mr. Modi again. If Mr. Modi, if you were ever to need a kidney, I would happily donate my kidney to you. All right? So friends, there's a subscriber button on the right if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll bid you farewell. So see you later, alligator.